What is up, everybody? We're out here on the job again today. Today we have to install shower trim for the master bathroom shower. This one should be interesting because it's actually kind of like a push button style shower valve made by Grohe. So it's a little bit, there can be a little finicky, especially if you get everything just right so it all lines up and looks good at the end. So it should be a pretty interesting video. Hopefully it will help you out if you are putting one of these in. So without further ado, let's go get to the master bathroom and get started. Okay, so here we are. We have our shower here. Glass will be here. That's that shower valve that I was talking about, and then a handheld unit. Okay, so the way these work is you have two push buttons here, which will turn the valve on or off, depending on if you want the shower head or the handheld. Then it spins in here, this little piece spins, and that is a volume control for either one. And then down here you have the temperature setting for the whole unit. This collar, they already have it cut, but this ends up getting cut right here flush. And then you get this piece here, which will end up going over the whole thing. Fitting in there snug. Okay, so we have these threaded pieces that will come out to our push button, which you'll see in a little while. And then you have in here your volume control knob, basically. There's basically a keyway that runs the whole length of it. You want to turn this all the way clockwise. So if it's like that, you want to turn it as far as it can go clockwise. The kit normally comes with the, I guess you could call it the standard extension piece, which is going to clip on there. But in this case, when the tile was installed, it was installed farther out than I think what was originally anticipated. So these are going to be too far in. And when this faceplate gets put on, there's a notch here where that keyway is going to fit into, just like that, so that when you do the volume control, it spins. This will be sitting out too far. Thankfully, Grohe does make an extension kit, which means rather than these ones, we can have longer ones, and we'll be able to reach out to the faceplate without actually having to do anything, as far as changing the tile and whatnot. Now it's not off by much, so these threaded pieces may end up working, because the trickiest part of this whole thing is getting these to the exact right length. You'll see why in a little bit, but these ones usually end up getting trimmed anyway, so they might end up working out. But with that extension kit, they also have longer ones as well, so that if you need that extra length, you can get it out of a longer threaded adapter here, along with longer collars for the volume control and threaded adapters for the push button. They also come with longer bolts for that actual mounting plate there. Okay, so let's just double check the length of this threaded adapter. We'll put our face plate on roughly, and it doesn't sit close to the edge here, so we're going to have to go with the longer one. So we'll make sure these are fully clockwise, and we'll line up our keyways here, and these just snap into place like so. And again, just like so. Okay, so then next what we want to do is you have the little slots for the keyways right in here. You want to line them up with those spacers and then slide this right into place, making sure it seats inside that blue roughened valve body. Once that's installed, we want to take our bolts and get them started. And we want to snug them up. Okay, so then what you want to do is turn these on by clicking them so that they pop out. And Grohe sends these little collars along, which you slip over and push on until you see the end of the knob here right up against the orange. You do the same thing on both sides. Take your protective cardboard and put it over the lower knob. And then they show a hacksaw, but I use an oscillating saw, and I will zip it off right here. And that should give us the right length for the push buttons. So let's cut these off and see if we get them in the right spot. Okay, we'll pull our guides off here. Then they give you these little green adapters, which you thread on. Just like so. Thread these right onto the end here. And then finally, once you know which side is doing what, you have these little caps that will go on. So then you just push it and it will be flush. And you push it out, you get the little green indicating that you have running water. And then, as I said, these knobs on the outside do your volume control. Okay, so what's left is then this here. So this actually has a little push button, so that would be all the way hot, and then you can push this down and go just a little bit farther like that, and then you have even hotter water. So you want to bring it so that when you come to the 12 o'clock position with that button, you're set at 120 degrees, let's say, and then if you want to scald yourself or you want the hotter water, you can push that button in and you know you're going to go up in temperature. They also sell this little extension piece which goes in, and then you want to turn it so that it's hot. But this you're not going to want to set into place until you have it all together and you can run the water and test for temperature. Because that's obviously going to be as hot as you can go, so you're going to want to bring it back until it's warm so that you're at the 12 o'clock position, set this in place, and then when you go to hotter, you get that little extra bit of warm water. So that will stay out until we're ready, and now we just have to install the shower head and install the handheld. I think for right now what I'm going to do is just install the handheld because the glass is not in, and if I install that shower head, it's just going to be the riser and I'll spray water all over the place. So let's get started with the handheld first. Before I do the handheld, let's put the face plate on and make sure that's going to sit on here correct. Here is our face plate. It's very close down here. We'll have to see if we can't squeeze it in. This is just a press fit on, so it's going to be very, very close. That's in place now, so let's move on to the handheld. So we're going to want to know where we are, so I will take a marker and just mark the nipple so it's right at the edge of the tile there. because we have this piece which will go here. The way these ones work is this goes on like so. There is a escutcheon plate here, and you have your little catch for the cover plate that goes over this. So this piece actually will go up and on like that, and then there are little keyways, so this is directional. And then you have a nut that threads up all the way and then around the bend and onto here like so. That stays like that, and then this threads up and on like that. Now you do have a little bit of play in and out with this. In this direction, this part is going to be in the wall though, because this obviously rides up against the back here, and you need that to pin this escutcheon to the wall. So we need to have this in the wall. It's going to unthread the whole nipple. See what kind of pressure is in there. Okay, pressure is off now, so we can take this nipple out. Dump it out, and then we have our mark here. And since we know this fitting needs to be in the wall, it needs to be something like that. So we need a length from here to right up in here. Let's run out to the truck and get that nipple. Okay, so classically, the nipples are right in between. What I will do is I will thread on the shorter one and see where that gets us. And of course our hole is a little small. Let's see if we can't just open it up a little bit. That should do it actually pretty well once we tape it all up. So as always, put your nipple in the left hand, tape at the bottom, coming over the top of the roll, and just thread it on. Do that like that every time, and you'll have a perfectly taped nipple. We'll thread this on, stick it in, thread it into our adapter inside there, tighten it down. Let's make sure all of our plates and everything are going to go on nice. Should have enough thread for that nut. I think that'll be pretty good, just like that. Let's grab that, thread that up and on. Then we want to make sure we square everything up, get it in the right orientation, just like so. Then we'll snug it all up. Yeah, that's nice. Then we'll take our cover plate, slip that up and over. We'll notch here at the top. We'll stick that up and in the hole, and then there's that tab at the bottom which will catch and hold it in place, just like that. That looks good to me. Next, we'll take our hose and we'll stick that up and on, and just thread it right onto the end of that, like that. Just loop that on there for right now. Okay, so I'm going through the boxes here. I don't see any handheld unit or mount. So for now, we're just going to leave that as it is, like that. And then that just leaves this nipple that I have to pull out, and this will get installed later. So all I have to do is take that nipple out and install this riser. So that should be pretty easy, and then it's done. The glass has to get put in. They're going to mount this to the glass, and then maybe at some point I'll have to come back and install the bracket and the handheld. But I don't see that anywhere here, so that will have to wait. But for now, let's get this off. Again, I will mark it, although I don't think I really have to for this, because that riser should just slip right down and in there, no problem. A little bit of pressure there, nothing crazy though. This is our scutcheon for it. So this will end up sitting just like so. So we'll take our scutcheon, I'll slip it over before I put the T-tape on, it'll make it easier. And I'll take the threaded tape, Teflon tape, and put that on. We'll stick this down the hole, thread it in. Okay, so now for the fun part, I have these turned all the way down, so that's low volume. And this one should be the handheld, so I will push this one in, pop it out, and the handheld does turn on. Don't want to do this one because it will be that shower head and it will spray all over the place. Looks like our drain is backing up here, so let me shut this off real quick and see what's happening there. So I bet you'll get a kick out of this. The drain was draining a little bit slow, so I was like, let me pull this cover off, this tile off, and see what's under there, and well, would you look at that. I wonder why it's draining so slow. Let's take our test plug out of there. That'll be better, I think. I'll leave this off while there's still junk floating around too. Okay though, so now that we have our drain situation all straightened out, let's turn this back on. And we'll get ourselves some flowing water. And let's turn our temperature is up. Just so you guys can see, that's us at the lowest volume. And then as I turn this knob, the volume changes. I'm not going to go full because there's no handheld unit on it and it's going to spray all over the place. So we'll just go low and slow it right now. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn this back until it gets cold. So right there is where it starts getting cold, so I'll turn it up a little bit. gets warm there, and then if I go like that, so we'll go with that right there. I'll shut this off. So now we know we're at the right temperature. So then what we want to do is take our part here, and there are little tabs in here. We want to turn this to hot all the way, just like so. We want to pull this out and line it up so that we can, like that. And push that in, and these, as you can see, there are little teeth in there that grip, so that way when you turn the whole thing, and then you push this button in, you can go just that little bit further. That'll be a nice hot right there. You push this button in, you can go a little bit further hot, and then you have cold that way. So the last thing to do is to take our little tabs here, stick them in, and push them in, just like so. Do the same for the shower head, just like that. So now they know this is for the shower, this is for the handheld. Last but not least, we have a little cover plate here. It goes in just like so. Okay, so with that, we have our faceplate and buttons and everything all put together. We have our handheld hose installed. We just need the handheld unit and a mounting bracket for it. And then the shower head will be on this riser, but they have to get the glass in so they can mount this little elbow to the glass. And then we have the shower arm that comes out, and we'll go to the shower head. But for today, that's going to be this one. All right, everybody, that'll do it for us here today. That shower valve trim and everything went in fairly easily. Like I said, they can be a little bit finicky. That one, especially with it being so close to the tile, was especially finicky, but we got it done nonetheless. So hopefully this helps you out if you're doing one of these Grohe valves. There's a lot of little components to them, and to get them right and look clean at the end can be a little bit of a trick. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully this helped you out a little bit. If it did and you liked this video, please remember to leave a like down below. It really helps the video out. While you're down there, drop a comment. Let me know if you would have done anything different or anything. I enjoy reading all the comments you guys are throwing my way, so I appreciate every one of you. Also, while you're down there, hit that subscribe button. That really also helps the channel out, and I just appreciate everyone that's following along with these jobs. So until the next time, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you then.